Hello, sixth graders. Today's lesson is the 15.4 lesson, and we have lots of targets we're trying to hit today. First is I can find surface area of similar solids. I can find volume of similar solids. I can tell if solid figures are similar or not similar. I can tell the difference between the surface area and the volume of a solid, and of course I can ask for help understanding. This is the last new section in chapter 15, and just a reminder that we will have the chapter 15 test in bigideasmath.com on Thursday. So getting started with today's lesson. First up, it says, which prism is similar to prism A? Well, if we remember back a few chapters, in order for shapes to be similar, their sides had to be proportional. So I'm checking. I have the height of A here is 8. The height of B here is 6, so 8 over 6. And then I'm going to compare the length of A here is 4, and the length of B here is 3. So I want to see if 8 over 6 equals 4 over 3. Well, I have different ways that I can do that. I think the easiest way to do that is to do cross products. So 8 times 3 is 24, 6 times 4 is also 24, so that means that those would be proportional to each other. Well, that means I know prism A and prism B are similar, but I want to check prism C as well. So I use the height of A, which is 8. I use the height of C, which is 10. The length of A, which is 4, and the length of C, which is 4. So I have 8 over 10, and I want to see if that equals 4 over 4. Well, when I do cross products with this one, 8 times 4 is 32, 10 times 4 is 40, so those would not be similar to each other because those side lengths are not proportional. So which prism is similar to prism A? It would be prism B. You can pause the video and do this one on your own. All right, to check this one. Now I could use different measures for this one to check to see if they're similar, but I have to be consistent. If I use the height on one, then I have to use the height on the other. If I use the radius on one, I have to use the radius on the other. So I decided to do the height of A, which was 12 here, versus the height of B here, which is 4. And then I did the radius 5 here and the radius of B here, which of course would be 3. So I want to check to see, does 12 over 4 equal 5 over 3? Well, 12 times 3 is 36, I believe, and 4 times 5 is 20, so those would not be similar to each other. Example 2, the pyramids are similar. Find the length of the base of pyramid E. So I know that these are similar to each other, so that means their side lengths have to be proportional. So remember, I have to be consistent. I did 6 over 14, I went from D to E, and then I'm going to do 4 over S. Once I have my proportion set up, then I just do 14 times 4, divide it by 6, and that's going to give me this measure right there, which is 9.3 repeating centimeters. You can pause the video and do this one on your own, but you are finding both the length and the width for this one, but you'll notice that you do have 20 over 8 as your starting proportion. All right, to check this one. So like I said, I use 20 over 8 because I have both of those side lengths. So 20 over 8, and I decide to find the length first. Well, that would be 11 over L. So now I have my proportion set up. So I do 8 times 11 divided by 20, and that means the length of L is 4.4 inches. Then to find W, I again use 20 over 8 because that's the one that I have both numbers. And then I did 8 over W because those two would match up as well. Remember, if I did 20 to 8, then I have to do 8 to W. I have to be consistent. So then 8 times 8 divided by 20 means that the width of W is 3.2 inches. All right, so now we've been working with linear measurements. Now we want to work with surface areas. And if you remember back, we kind of did some of these types when we were working with surface area of similar solids before. And remember, to compare surface area to a linear measure, you just have to square the linear measure because surface area is squared compared to the linear measure. So looking at example 3, the cones here are similar. What is the surface area of cone G? Round your answer to the nearest tenth, it says. So we have surface area of cone F is 75. We do not know surface area of G, so I left that blank. And then I'm going to compare that to the linear measure of 3 over 2, but I have to square that linear measure. So 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4. Now I can solve this proportion to find the surface area of G. 75 times 4 divided by 9. It does give you 33 1/3, but actually it says to round to the nearest tenth, so I should have actually written 33.3 centimeters squared, which would be the surface area of this cone G, which I was able to use using the known linear measures. You can pause the video and do these ones on your own. All right, to check these ones. So these solids are similar, so find the surface area of the red solid. And I decided to label them A and B just so I could keep them straight. So first up, surface area of A is 608, and I'm looking for the surface area of B. Well, I have these linear measures here, 8 to 5, which means I went from A to B. I still have to go from A to B, but those have to be squared. So 8 squared is 64, 5 squared is 25. Now I just have to solve this proportion. So 608 times 25 divided by 64 gives me the surface area of B is 237.5 meters squared. Second one, I'm looking for surface area of A, but I do have surface area of B is 110. Then I use the linear measure 5 to 4. Well, 5 squared is 25, 4 squared is 16. So 110 times 25 divided by 16 means the surface area of A is approximately 171.9 centimeters squared. So last part, and this is a new part, we are comparing volumes of similar solids. When two solids are similar, the ratio of their volumes is equal to the cube of the ratio of their corresponding linear measures. So now instead of squaring these, I have to cube them because that's how it relates the volume of similar solids. So looking at example 4, we have cylinder H and we have cylinder J, and we're looking for the volume of cylinder J. So I start by doing the volume of H, which is 314, over the volume of J, which is what I don't know. And that is equal to this linear measure here, 4, compared to this linear measure here, 6 to the third power. So then I do 4 to the third power, which is 64, 6 to the third power, which is 216, and then I just have to solve this proportion. 314 times 216 divided by 64 means the volume of cylinder J is 1059.8 inches cubed, rounded to the nearest tenth. All right, you can pause the video and try these two on your own. All right, to check these two, again, I labeled them A and B, so I can keep it a little bit more organized. So I don't have volume A, but I do have volume B as 288, and I'm comparing that to the linear measures of 5 to 12, but of course I have to cube those measures. 5 cubed is 125, 12 cubed is 1728, so then 288 times 125 divided by 1728 means the volume of cone A would be about 20.8 centimeters cubed. For number 6, we have the volume of A as 9. We're looking for the volume of B here, but I do have the linear measures of 3 to 4, but those linear measures need to be cubed for volume. So 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, so 9 times 64 divided by 27 gives me the volume of B as approximately 21.3 inches cubed, rounded to the nearest tenth. Your homework assignment today is page 697 to 699, numbers 1 through 14, 16, 20 through 22. So getting started on it together, it says, what are similar solids? And this is the word that you should have written down in your vocabulary packet. Similar solids have the same shape and sides are proportional. Question number 2 says, draw two similar solids and label their corresponding linear measures. So I just copied this answer right here. I have a cube and another cube that are similar to each other. And then I labeled their corresponding measures to answer question number 2. So just a quick reminder, this was the last new section for chapter 15. Chapter 15 was all about volume, volume of cylinders, volume of cones, volume of spheres, and now today we related surface area and volume of similar solids. So we will review chapter 15 tomorrow, and then we will have the chapter 15 test in BigIdeasMath.com on Thursday, May 7th. Thanks for watching.